don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
She got eaten by a void woken.
Forget it.
The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you.
And?
You, Jill, is that right? I've a few questions for you. You are Jill, aren't you?
I ain't saying nothing.
Bloody dwarves. I'll come back to you. And you better be ready.
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger. It's...
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were... That's all you hear, though. Listen close.
Never thought you'd end up in prison.
You got ears on your head, haven't you? Do you need me to show you how to use them?
Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
You've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of the...
There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Why won't you sing? I forgot how to sing. I did.
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. No indeed, boy.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
She got eaten by a void woken.
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
The Magisters are out for blood. You saw the body, didn't you? Big bruiser like you ought to be able to take them on.
Never thought you'd end up in prison,
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like
My
wolves.
prince!
The cook bows slightly and wipes her hands on her gruel-stained garb.
Forgive me, your highness. I didn't expect... Well, anyway, whether I had more than cornmeal and rotting roots to serve, I'd concoct something more fitting for one of your stature.
She nods and smiles wanly before returning to her duties.
I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your sub-story somewhere else.
They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you?
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straight...
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that...
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from the Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself. Not eager to bow before the great Bishop Alexander, son of the Divine himself. My sentiments exactly. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You, Les...
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
I forgot how to sing. I did.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body. He reaches out, flicks a finger against one of your scales, and rubs...
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
I am reading. Is this not evident? My book is in my hands, my face turned away from you. Perhaps my eyes not on the page. Damnable things.
He grabs a metal plate and watches his reflection with one eye as the other shifts left to right and up to down. He repeats the maneuver with the opposite eye.
No, they are working quite adequately. It seems you are at fault. Predictable, really. Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... Well, I am a seeker of... It is pleasurable to meet you. Is there? Wherever do you keep it? Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Most unusual. And if it's not too rude to suggest, no. I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any useful information. Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
Been quiet long enough for me to listen.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far? Trust me, with Bishop Alexander in charge, things will get a lot better from here on out. He's God-woken, you know. You head on in now. Williams...
Trained on her, and if she...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
No, I'm afraid I always perform my part solo. Do stay and watch, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn! That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards!
Suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
No, no, no! What damn fools record knowledge on a... It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid!
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from...
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read the blood. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to. Please, I was no more an elf than you are those rags you're wearing. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little... Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands.
The skeleton holds up his book in one quick, frustrated movement.
I am trying to discover if there is anyone worth... And I will be damned if I let the lives of some mayflies get in my way. Go on. Go. Swim or drown or do whatever takes your fancy. I have a book to read.
What in blazes? Something's pounding on the hull.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is. A warning of death. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The crimson, it doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow cloud.
Death fog? I need to get out of here now! This wreck and quick!
ancients. I need to get off this ship. So much for a peaceful stroll.
Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you!
right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a boat. Wait! Void Woken! Beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
I thought Void Woken was supposed to be scary.
Let the games begin.
I'll yield to none!
I've faced worse.
Meet your maker!
No telling where there might be more. We need to move.
Let's head above decks for some air.
The one who put on this damn collar. Sounds like she needs help.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth, soaked with some kind of strong-smelling tincture. Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. Blood pours out from around the bandage. Magister Siwan reaches out to you, her hand flailing. It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan clutches your arm, her eyes locked with yours. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan, then cracks.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Well, that was a bit of a rough and tumble journey. I suppose I'm the lone survivor. Which is entirely appropriate, if you ask me.
Brachus Rex. King, sorcerer, and scholar, though not quite a gentleman. It's broken.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to lizards. Really? Like, what kind of stories? A seven-headed snake? That sounds scary. Can I hear it anyway?
You want me tell the tale of Visha, but despite your best efforts, you notice that your knowledge of legends and monsters is somehow upsetting the child.
Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy. No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside anyway. They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe they're waiting for me back at home. But you didn't die. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn! They made it to the shore. I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. This pig's bladder was on the ship. A black cat. A herald of wisdom in my homeland. How fortuitous.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused.
Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. Now, where shall I put this one?
Your godwoman has asked you a question. Answer him.
The cat's eyes are... It appears...
I've spotted something. One must put in due effort if one is to reap the proper reward.
I know nothing of any of that.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Stay silent, lizard!
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend, the fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help Dallas.
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
Don't you hear?
I find only bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or brisket, toll's the same.
Your grift teaches you to bully others. Pathetic.
You keep his name out of your mouth, you filthy cud chewer.
Have your cud.
Disgusting. Just like all
right
the
time
kind.
to think of a thing like this.
Disgusting like theft. Disgusting like threats.
Grave God, will you quit dragging this on? Take that on, Lexi. Just hand over the gold.
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth flu just to this round.
What of it? Yeah, what of it?
Ah, grab it, you goblins, the both of you.
This again?
That's it. I call court. Pay up. Looky here, mates. A fresh face. We love fresh faces, don't we? Oh, yes, we do. Why don't you join us in a round of cards? First hands on the house. Chuff to you, Chief. Here you go.
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs. A hard hand to beat.
Quite the hand, Freshie. Unfortunately, 2 is less than 5, and that's how many purples I've got. I reckon that makes me the winner. I'll be having your fee then. Blaming a bloke you just met for your misfortune, are you? Ease off, or I'll go ahead and double what you owe. Don't think your connections will get here in time to save you if you don't pay up now. Go on then. Whatever pennies you've got in your pocket ain't worth my breath. But don't you go telling Griff I was soft on you. Another inmate, but you wouldn't guess it. Runs this place like he's Dallas herself. Shouldn't be too hard to find him in the kitchen, but he doesn't take too kindly to your kind.
Huh? What you doing here? Didn't Griff already take one of them ears of yours? That's so. Oh, hey, you're right. Reckon the lizard I'm thinking of was got rid of last week. Probably for the best. Griff cut him real good.
Lest the void overtake and devour us all.
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart? I don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue just to this round.
What of it? Yeah, what of it?
Ah, grab it in, you gobblers, the both of you.
If you don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold.
Greetings, child. Frightful far from home, ain't you? Visited your ancient empire myself a long time ago. The Divine's light sure shines on your kind. No disrespect, eh? I'm used to calling all the Divine's offspring that way. Absent though our father may be,